They're on a mission to develop, advocate, and support high-impact strategies that'll make Michigan a top 10 state for jobs, personal income, and a healthy economy. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers, coming to you from the 2014 West Michigan Policy Forum, being taped at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel in downtown Grand Rapids. Joining me now is the President and CEO of Business Leaders for Michigan, Doug Rothwell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great to be with you, Laurel.
That's sort of a lofty goal, right? Top 10 states. When it wasn't that long ago, we were way at the very bottom.
Yeah, we think it's the right goal because that's what people want, right? They want better jobs, they pay better, be able to take care of their families. And we made a lot of progress these last 3 or 4 years. I mean, we were dead last on many of those measures that you look at just a few years back. And now today, I'd say we're in the mid 30s or 20s even on some. But the fact is that the competitors around us keep getting better. And so we need to keep up with them. And there's more work to be done to get to being that top 10 state.
How did we get from the bottom of the pack, dead last, to the middle? What have we been doing right?
Well, business climate improvements. I mean, the things you typically figure out to try to really make your state more competitive, whether those are getting our tax system to be fair, balancing budgets without kind of one-time band-aids, making sure that we were getting regulations under control. Michigan's made a lot of progress in those areas. In fact, we went from being one of the 10 worst to 10 best business tax climate states in just the last few years. But what we now still need to do are we need to fix our roads, we need to make it more affordable for kids to go to college, and those are things that we still have to accomplish on our agenda.
So what's the number one thing we should all be working on so that we do at least ink up into the top, let's say the top 15 or 20 maybe in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, we look at it much like a business would. I mean, the more value you offer for money, the more you're going to beat your competitors in the marketplace. And that's kind of what we think Michigan needs to do. I think we've made progress in terms of getting our costs under control. Now we need to really add more value. And that's going to come from things like having a better infrastructure than we have currently, fixing our roads and bridges, making sure that we have more talent with an education beyond high school, because that's what our employers need. And if those jobs can't be filled here in Michigan, they're going to go somewhere else to get them. So investments are going to be important. And last but not least is we really need to just leverage what we do best as a state. I think for too often in the past we tried to kind of grab industries into the state that weren't here, but we really have such great industries. We just need to grow them even more to be a top 10 state.
So it sounds like the issues that are being discussed here at this conference, two of the three being talent and transportation, really are what you see as key issues that need to be addressed to grow our state.
I think those are the top 2 priorities to invest in, and I think if we do that, we're going to see a lot of progress.
And transportation, we're not talking about fixing roads and potholes only, but really across the board, major changes in our transportation and improvements in our transportation
Absolutely.
system.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk about building the new bridge to Canada, but we also need to make sure our rail systems are up to speed. We need to get our rail tunnel to Canada fixed. I mean, right now you've got to offload cars to get them into the tunnel and then back on the railroad again when they're over in Canada. I mean, that takes a lot of time and energy that we really shouldn't be wasting that way.
So how long before we're in the top 10?
Well, we hope that it'll be by the end of the decade. That's our goal, and I think we're making progress to get there.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome, Laurel.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Doug Rothwell, the President and CEO of Business Leaders for Michigan.